photography, historical documentary, and the Midwest. All these things can be linked to one person, Solomon D. Butcher. But really, who was Solomon Butcher? Follow us as we take you on an in-depth biographical analysis in central Nebraska and rediscover who the man was behind the legendary pictorial history of the homesteads on the Great American Plains. We present to you Solomon D. Butcher, the documentary. Solomon Butcher's collection includes nearly 3,500 glass plate negatives, in which he took between 1886 and 1912. Butcher's collection was focused in Custer County, Nebraska, on the eastern ridge of the unique Sandhills. A census of the state in 1885, just 1 year before Butcher began making his documentary, shows that the population in Custer County was 6,710 people. Another census taken in 1910 puts the population of the county at 15,961. The volume of pictures Butcher had taken in such a restricted geographic area in a short time frame is very significant to researchers. It allows for them to draw accurate conclusions on the conditions and process of homesteading because of the applicable, in-depth analysis that can be done through his pictures. So who was Solomon D. Butcher? He was born in Burton, Virginia on January 24th, 1856. In 1860, his family moved to Winona, Illinois, where his father got a job with the Illinois Central Railroad. Solomon completed his high school degree in 1874 and became a tintypist's apprentice. There he learned the art and science of photography. In 1880, Butcher traveled to central Nebraska with his father and younger brother. He lived in a one-room sod house with them for about a year until he discovered that farming wasn't quite his cup of tea. Solomon's father left his job in Illinois and took his family to start up a homestead in Custer County, Nebraska. The family took 2 covered wagons over 700 miles in the process of about 7 weeks. In 1881, Solomon D. Butcher traveled to Minneapolis, Minnesota to go to the newly formed medical college. He ended up meeting his wife up there, but only stayed for about a year. And he came back to Nebraska to become a teacher and form a new homestead. Solomon moved his family around from town to town, falling on financial hardships. It's said that it was the fear of returning to the life of farming again that he stumbled upon the idea of producing a photographic history of Custer County. After Solomon had arranged to take the pictures of 75 farmers, his father was convinced to loan him a covered wagon, and that is how Solomon got started. Butcher's photographs were taken on 6.5 by 8.5 inch glass. From 1886 to 1911, Solomon photographed the county's homesteaders. He traveled on rough roads and sometimes roads that were no more than ruts. He would travel for hours upon hours to get to the families he wished to photograph. Solomon was able to raise the money he needed to publish the histories of Custer County in Pioneer History of Custer County, Nebraska. In 1911, Butcher wanted to move his family to Texas, and taking the numerous amount of plates was impossible. So he met with Addison Sheldon, the superintendent of Nebraska State Historical Society. The Historical Society took about a year to acquire the funds to purchase Butcher's collection. Solomon D. Butcher was truly a visionary, and he left a large impact on the use of photographs in the 19th century, with the main purposes of photography at the time being for portraits and historical documentary. Solomon stepped into an important part of American history that very few others had. He died not realizing how his photographs would impact the future generations.